Every week, I start out saying the exact same thing. I know that we are powerful, creative, spiritual beings who have come here to have an extraordinary experience, and that experience includes this entire richness of everything, which sometimes feels really, really good, and sometimes feels really, really bad. And that for our experience to be rich, it has to hold it all. Maybe it doesn't have to, but it seems to for most of us. And so that's really important because in the end, we are divine beings, right? We are spiritual beings. We are not human beings who have spirit. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And it's like we don't really get to choose some of it. My guess is, I've got this whole story going on in my head, which I'm going to share today, around what it's like before we're born, right? But it seems to me that it's kind of like playing poker. You know, I've heard people say, I'm not a gambling person. Well, you're born. That kind of makes it a gamble. But some people get really, really good at poker. They learn that whatever cards you're dealt, you get to still win the game. That it isn't a matter of the cards you're dealt, it's how you play them. And then others are always looking for the best cards and complaining, oh, I keep getting bad cards, I keep getting bad cards. And people who are just waiting for good cards never win at poker. It doesn't work that way. Those that actually win at poker know that you got to be able to play the bad hands and the good hands. And you got to know how to play them well. So I think we come into this world with the choice of being born, but then show up in some body. And now we're in this body. And in this body, we get to make a lot of choices and then a lot of not choices in terms of disease, the economic situation we're born into, whether the area gets bombed or not. Some of that is not in our hands. I feel very lucky to have been born in an area that so far has not been bombed, and mostly traveled to places that have never been bombed. I have been to Jerusalem in the Middle East. They are bombed. And yet so many of them still have such a positive attitude because they're not playing the cards they were dealt, they're playing their life. They're not worried about whether it was a good hand or not. And so when we do that, we get to rise because there's this whole piece about being born that is special in and of itself, or we wouldn't have chosen to be here. You wouldn't be here if you didn't think it was a really good idea to be born, even though we all probably knew beforehand that we didn't get to choose the circumstances. We didn't get to choose the cards we were dealt. We'd have to just go for that ride. So yeah, every single one of us took that gamble to show up here in life and go, okay, now I've got these cards. Am I going to just complain about it until I'm out of this body? Or am I going to work with it? Am I going to remember that I am a divine being and get to play it the way I want to play it? And I think what happens is there have been people who came into this world before us who had, time here, who then want to tell the rest of us, since I did this successfully, maybe this is here's some advice that you can use to play it. And then maybe you try some of that advice. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. And the parts that don't, if the other person who has told you all about this was successful, maybe you don't feel as good about yourself. Like, why did it work for them and not work for me? How come other people get to be successful doing this and not me? They followed the rules. I followed the rules. How come their success is bigger? I've had lots of experiences like that, but one in particular stands out. I've sold insurance twice in my life. In my 97 jobs, 2 of them have been selling insurance. Different kinds and similar, very, very similar situations. Except the first time, they said to me, do what you want. They said, we think we're just going to let you do this. We're going to give you some advice, but for the most part, we're just going to let this do it your way. And so I got in there and I figured out a way that worked for me that nobody, that according to everybody I spoke to, had ever done in insurance before. I even created a product that nobody had ever thought of because I was left alone. And it turns out that when I'm left alone, I do really well. I can just go, oh, well, now it's this huge plate and I get to pull from anywhere. And I made a boatload of money. Did great at it. Not everybody works that way. My second time selling insurance, they had this way they wanted it done. And there were all these people who were really successful doing it that way, who were making boatloads of money. But I did not flourish in that environment. And after a while, they just said, you don't seem very good at this. We're going to let you go. Same thing, the same product. And I think that's true for each and every one of us. We have to find where we flourish. We have to trust that just because somebody else flourished in a particular situation, that's not our divine being. That it's up for us to find where our spot in life is, how we flourish in life. And when we just look at others and do that comparison thing that, oh my God, am I the only one who has ever compared myself to others? When we do that comparison thing, we really hurt ourselves. Because one of the most beautiful parts of life is that we are unique beings, each and every one of us. You are here with your gift. You have a gift, I promise. It may not have shown up yet. It may have showed up for a while and then looked like it disappeared. But I think that our job in life really is to understand the hugeness of this playground that we're in and how we get to hold it for ourselves. That the beauty of all this is no 2 of us see it the same. We're all here. We all have a similarity that brings us together. But even in this room, I promise you, we don't see things the same. And so remembering our divine spark, remembering that we are divine in this, really helps when you're feeling like nothing's working, when you just got a diagnosis, when a relationship is ending, whatever is going on that can make you feel less than, you have a divine spark. You are a divine spark. You are the divine, each and every one of us. And the thing about divine sparks is it's not like one is more divine than another. It's not like we're, that person is more divine than I am. No. Or that person is less divine than I am. No. So here's my story about what happens before we're born. bunch of spirit beings get together and decide what are some of the things they want to experience in this exciting adventure called being human. And a group, and one person might go, I really want to be the hero in an adventure. I want to rise and be this great person. And then a whole bunch of other people go, oh yeah, I want to do that too. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit, because how I got this idea, which was many years ago, was based on when I was a kid. When I was a kid, one of the first games I did in groups was not sports. It was cowboys and Indians. And nobody ever wanted to be the Indians. And so what we did was we'd always tell the kids who were going to get killed and be the Indians that they got to be the cowboys next time. And we would take turns. And it occurred to me that that's probably what goes on before we're born. That a bunch of people get together and go, well, we want to be on the side of righteousness. Well, the only way you get to be on the side of righteousness if there's people who are not. And so then others go, well, I don't really want to be on the not side. And then finally somebody like the being that finally became Trump goes, okay, I'll be that person. And everybody goes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your willingness to play that role in this life. I promise next time you can be the good guy. And I see it this way, right? This is my story as to what happens before we're born. I mean, think about this for a second. A doctor. If there was no disease in the world, who would get to play doctor? So both sides have to exist so that people get to play whatever roles they wanted to play in this life. And when I hold it that way, then I'm not so mad at Trump. In fact, I kind of have some gratitude for him, because I get to see all that rises around him. You know, all the people that are rising in the world who maybe wouldn't if they didn't have somebody like that to be, we got to be better than this. Right? And so we're all divine beings. He's no less divine than anybody else. We're all in this together. We're in this together in ways we don't even know we're in it together, because we're playing out these roles. We're playing out this way of being. We're playing out how we are with each other in this world. And each of us has to find our way with that. But it's hard if you don't remember that you're a divine spiritual being. When you're at the grocery store in line, you're divine, and so is everybody else in line in front of you. When you're in traffic, when you're talking to a customer service person and not feeling like it's so customer service. When you're looking at politics in the world. When you're looking at climate change, right? It's even that. There's a divineness in every tree, in every drop of water, and it's no different. Every spark is every spark. So how are we going to be with that? When we get mad and think this ought to be different, that person ought to be different, I need to be different, because we do it to ourselves, right? We're really quick to say, I really screwed up, and maybe you did. I know I have a lot. And so you screw up, but then that doesn't make you any less divine. It doesn't make you any less the spirit that is doing your best to play the game of life inside the body you got. We come here for a very limited time. And it's a special journey that we get to have. And in this specialness of this journey, we have some choices in how we play the cards we were dealt. So I didn't tell anybody what this talk was going to be about. Yesterday I met with Enid, and she slipped this to me by a guy named James McRae. And I thought, oh my God, that's exactly my talk. Synchronicity at work. So I'm going to do something I rarely do, which is read you guys something. In the event that you wake up and find your soul separated from source and manifest into material form, don't panic. Your condition is only temporary. You have been selected for the opportunity of human incarnation. This 3D simulation is designed to break up the monotony of eternity by giving you a fully immersive experience as a distinct ego identity. Your body will serve as your physical avatar as you navigate a dense and dramatic reality. There will be many distractions, causing you to forget your true nature and origin. You will experience a range of emotions from joy to loneliness to despair. But remember, no matter what trials and traumas you encounter, your soul remains perfectly safe. At times, you may feel lost or afraid. This is totally normal. If you ever need guidance, simply slow down your busy mind and bring your awareness to the quiet place inside yourself. On this planet, nothing is permanent. People and things will come and go. You will fall in love and form sentimental attachments, only to lose everything you hold dear. So cling to nothing too tightly, even yourself. And when it's time to let go with grace, for nothing is owned, only borrowed. As you walk among the people on the planet, try to be a good guest. Tread lightly. Remember that you are only visiting. Don't make a mess, or at least be good at cleaning them up if you do. Listen more than you speak. Give more than you take. Don't keep your soft heart locked inside a glass cage, protected from wear and tear. Don't do that. You'll never make it out alive, and time passes quickly. So come back with some battle scars and good stories to tell. I think that's what you want. You want to end this life with good stories to tell. I have mine. It's been an honor having the ability to share them all with you. It's been fun. And so, here we are, divine beings, living a life that is full of all the riches that come to being on planet Earth, as temporary as it is. Finding ourselves, our unique way of being on this planet. A unique way of expressing what it is that is our gift to express. I promise you, each of you has one. I promise you, there is something so deep within you that wants to express itself. When a circumstance appears, it is asking of you, what is your best you can bring to this? What is your best that you can bring to this? And then maybe you get so caught up in the drama, or am I the only one that happens to, that you forget that you're only here temporarily, that you're a spirit, and that you have the wherewithal to rise. That's easy to forget in the midst of circumstances. So when that happens, how gentle can you be with yourself then once you remember? Because you will. That's why we come here. We show up at the Center for Spiritual Living to remind ourselves of the power and presence of who we truly are. Each of us, powerful, creative, spiritual beings. Each of us on a journey of wonder. Each of us doing our best to enjoy the time we have here and enjoy the people we're surrounded by. I really enjoy all of you. Thank you so much for being here. I love you.